Guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I finally got my braces off. Yes, so I got my braces off properly a month ago now, so I thought I'd do a video just explaining things that I wish I knew before getting braces, and just a bit of before and after, and the whole journey, and the last, the day when I took my braces off. Yeah, so it's just kind of a summary of this braces chapter. So I'll start with befores and afters, and I'll put the pictures here. First point is probably that braces are actually not that bad. I think from the first day I got braces to the last day, I'll probably rate the pain a 7 out of 10. And 7 out of 10 would be the first day I got braces. Yes, it was hard to eat and all of that stuff, but throughout the tightening appointments, I feel like it got less painful, and it just wasn't that bad. And I know some people, there's this idea that braces are meant to hurt, and like it's all painful, and you have to put ice in your mouth, and you feel like your teeth are falling. I didn't have any of that. So if you're someone who's about to get braces, my advice would be to just relax. It's gonna be fine. It's not that painful, and the pain doesn't even last that long to begin with. I think my first week the pain was like lasted for 3 days. I have a full video that I put somewhere here of the first time that I got braces, and it was painful a little bit here and there, but it wasn't that painful. So yeah, that's point number one, something that I wish I knew. Second thing I wish I knew about braces is that the appointments sometimes are not as frequent as I originally thought. To be honest, it could depend, but like my appointments were like sometimes 6 to 8 weeks apart, and I know some people have appointments every 4 weeks, so it kind of can vary. And that's something that worried me a bit, because I thought that meant that my process was going to be longer. And I actually did inquire this with the orthodontist, and I was told that because I have, like, I think they call diamond braces, or like self-heated braces, something like that, they move on, your teeth move on like more consistently than normal traditional braces. Third thing I wish I knew is that you can actually eat most things with braces. I mean, that could be me, but like I ate apples. I mean, obviously I wasn't like that, but I was eating apples, Twix, chocolate, like sticky sweet. I was eating everything. Like I didn't restrict myself at all. Like just ate everything. It almost felt like I didn't even have braces. I don't know if that's how it's meant to be, but it wasn't really that difficult, and things didn't get as stuck in my teeth as you will think with braces. That was also why I wanted to get braces and not Invisalign, because I didn't want to be bothered with taking them on and off, and I chew gum a lot, and I like to snack here and there, so it was just not gonna be a good option for me. Fourth thing I wish I knew was that after you take your braces off, you still have to wear retainers. I feel like most people know this, but retainers are basically like these clear liners that you have to pop on. I was told to pop them on 12 hours a night after I took my braces off. Sometimes I don't wear them for the full 12 hours, but the first time you put the retainers on, they're quite tight, but it's just to make sure that your teeth remain in place, because apparently teeth can shift quite quickly. So I took my braces off, I think it was on a Friday, and I got my retainers on a Monday. That is just to avoid that your teeth move back. And then yeah, once you pop them on, they are quite tight. They feel so tight, and even take them off is a bit scary. But once you get used to it, it's just on and off, on and off. And I got 2 sets of retainers and also a whitening kit, which I still I've not used yet, but I think I'll do a separate video of how I whiten my teeth, so look out for that. Another thing that I wish I knew, which is probably one of the biggest thing, is that once you take your braces off, you may actually not be happy with the initial results, because I wasn't. My teeth felt big, and I think that's something that I've heard a lot of people say, but they felt so big and they didn't feel straight. I felt like they were like not fully aligned. That has now gotten better, but what I was told is that we see a lot of like perfect teeth online, and like people with bonding, or like crowns or veneers, and you think that's what teeth are meant to look like without any procedure, but that's actually not the case. So when I took my braces off, they just didn't feel like I had a certain image in my head, which wasn't what I saw when I took my braces off. So when I took my braces off, one thing that was my main concern was that I felt like these teeth were not aligned, and that's because from the back they don't feel straight, they don't feel like an arch. And I was told that that doesn't matter. What matters is that, you know, when you look at the, like, basically the front is straight. Oh, and I actually saw another video online that said the same thing. So when you take your braces off and you feel like the back doesn't feel smooth, apparently that's fine. The important thing is that the front is arched, if that makes sense. I feel like it's a common theme that people don't like their teeth when they take the braces off, and it did take some getting used to. I think maybe 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks before I was actually happy, and I was like, actually, you know, I'm happy with my smile. It does look different. It's like, yeah, it's nice. And talking about the whole taking off braces process, it wasn't that painful, I would say. Yeah, they like scrape off, I mean, they remove the brackets first and the wires, and then they scrape off the glue and then polish it, and it didn't even take more than half an hour. Another thing that I wish I knew, which is more like an advice, is that if you're not happy with you know, if throughout your braces journey, let's say maybe they're like, you know, we're gonna take your braces off this day and that, if there's something you're not happy with, just bring it up. Don't try to, like, don't feel scared or afraid to be like, oh, actually, what about this, what about that? Because if you're actually paying for it, and even if you're not paying for it, you want your teeth to be straight at the end, especially after all you have to go through. So if there's something that you're not convinced about, make the inquiry, and if there's something that cannot be changed, then at least, you know. For example, at the appointment before I took my braces off, they were like, are you happy, you know? And I was like, not really, I feel like this tooth is not straight. And we're like, okay, that's fine, we'll change the bracket on that tooth. And I feel like if I was like, oh, you know what, it's been so long, I don't want to bother them, and I was like, oh yeah, everything is fine, they would have taken them off then, and I wouldn't have been happy with it. When they changed the bracket, I actually noticed the difference. Another thing that I've noticed while wearing braces is that my face felt a bit fuller, or not fat, but I felt like that. But when I took the braces off, my face, I feel like it shrinked a little bit more, and it's just easier, like it feels less puffy overall. Another thing I wish I knew is that the whole process of cleaning your teeth with braces is actually not that complicated. I had a water flosser and an electric toothbrush, which I already had before. I mean, I bought the water flosser specifically for the braces, but I wasn't even like using it as often. I feel like my teeth were still okay. But one thing that I advise, which I'm sure other people do anyway, is to make sure you brush your teeth before your appointment, because sometimes if they see like maybe there's like some things in your mouth, they may be like, oh yeah, you're not brushing your teeth properly, and we need to take your bracket off, which is what happened for me on one occasion. Another thing that I wish I knew is that you need to be patient with braces. I was originally told it would take 6 months to have my perfect smile, and it ended up taking 1 year and 6 months, 6-7 months. So, and I think it might be a bit of a tactic that some orthodontists use. I mean, I think they obviously, if they tell you it's going to take 6 months, you're more eager to like want to do it. If they tell you it's going to take 1 year plus, it's like, well, first appointment it took me 6 months. Second appointment, when I was actually, yeah, I'm going to get it done, it was like, I was going to take 12 months. It could take up to 12 months. And then it ended up taking 12 months. And one thing as well, I think orthodontists are always like, oh yeah, next appointment we'll take them off. Oh, next appointment we'll take them off. And it's like, it's been like that for like, at the time it was like that for 4 months. They were like, when I take them off next appointment. But also I wanted my teeth to be perfect, obviously. So while it was a bit annoying and a bit like, well, it took me 12 months, I was like, at the end of the day, I want them to be perfect, so I'll wait. It's better to be patient then and then get your braces up and then you're not happy with the result. So just have an expectation that it might take longer than what you were originally told. And also, I guess different teeth move at different rates and all of that stuff. Another thing that I've noticed with braces is that sometimes your teeth, I think it's actually a common theme, your teeth might get worse before they get better, or sometimes they might, get better and then slightly worse and then they go back to been better, and it's just a whole process. I cannot, this tooth that I have here, there was a point, I think maybe 6 months in, it was straight, and then after it wasn't straight anymore, and then it was straight and then it wasn't. So I think it's a whole process, but just let it run through its course, and at the end, you know, you get your final perfect results. Another thing that I've heard people say that I actually haven't done because of what I've heard is not to use whitening toothpaste, because obviously if you're whitening, you know, the bottom and the top where the braces are not, you know, where the brackets are not, when you take your brackets off, then there's a clear difference in color. I avoided using whitening toothpaste for that. I mean, I think I used it maybe a couple of times here and there, but overall I use the normal toothpaste. So those are all the things that I wish I knew before braces. Would they have made a difference? You know, I might have been less scared, but I would have done it anyway the way I've done it, so I wouldn't have changed anything. So overall, I am happy I got braces. I'm happy with my results. You know, my smile feels different. I also got to experiment with colors. I wasn't shy. I didn't really care. Yes, I'm an adult wearing braces, but who cares? I tried pink, I tried yellow. No, I didn't try yellow. I tried purple, I tried sky blue, like I went green. I went crazy with it. It was just a journey, and I actually enjoyed it. At the end, it was getting a bit like stressful, a bit like I was getting a bit impatient, but eventually we got there, and now they're off. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for being with me throughout this braces journey. I will post another video of my whitening, because I've got a whitening kit as part of my braces package. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.